Hey guys, it's Morgan. Sorry I haven't uploaded any videos lately. I've been kind of sick, but I decided to finally do some. And also I wanted to update you. The canvases were a gift from my friend. She didn't tell me, and there was no note, so I was really confused. But yeah, so that's where the canvases came from, and I did get all my books, so everything's all good. So let's get into the video. I'm going to be comparing the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief book and movie. Just so you guys know, there will be lots of spoilers for the book and the movie in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled if you haven't read the book or seen the movie, I would recommend to not watch this video, go read the book or watch the movie and then come back and watch it. Now, I never watched the movie right after reading the book, and I've read the book probably about 5 or 6 times now. And let me tell you, I was very upset. I was so upset with the movie. More than I ever have been. And yeah, so I had so many things I wanted to talk about, but I narrowed it down to 15. I do have a side note. The movie did very poorly at following the actual mythology. So the first thing, it's not really part of the storyline. It's more of a observation of the characters. In the book, Percy and Annabeth are 12, and Grover is 26 in satyr years, but in human years he's 13, and Luke is 17, so he is 7 years older than Percy and Annabeth. And in the book, they seem like they're 16, Annabeth, Percy, and Grover, and then Luke seems, like 18, 19. So he's definitely not 7 years older than them, and they're really close in age, and I feel like it kind of changes Annabeth and Luke's relationship a lot. In the book, she always had a crush on him, but she was always so much younger than him, and in the movie, Luke kind of seems like he has a crush on her, so yeah, it's kind of weird. So the second difference I noticed was in the beginning of the movie when Percy, Grover, and Sally are trying to get Percy safely to Camp Half-Blood. Percy and Grover cross the boundary, and Sally is stuck on the outside. Well, that is partially correct, but in the books, if you are a monster or a human, you can get inside the barrier if you're invited or summoned. So Grover could have invited Sally into the boundary, but in the book, she never even tries to cross the boundary. She's too busy trying to distract the Minotaur from Percy and Grover. The third thing I noticed was that in the movie, everybody knew Percy was Poseidon's son. In the book, nobody knew who his father was, and so he was placed in Hermes' cabin, where all new campers are placed, and he stays there until he is claimed by Poseidon, because that is the only way you can move out of that cabin, is to be claimed by your godly parent. Otherwise, nobody knows who your godly parent is, and you're kind of stuck in the Hermes cabin. The fourth thing is, in the movie, Percy and Annabeth and Grover sneak out of camp to go rescue his mother, which is very backwards. In the book, the quest is given to Percy. He goes and visits the Oracle and gets a prophecy, and, he chooses Grover and Annabeth to go on this quest with him, to go rescue his mother, return the lightning bolt kind of thing. So, yeah, that was upsetting. The fifth thing, Luke gives Percy a magical gift, the flying shoes, in the book and the movie. But in the book, Percy never uses the shoes, only Grover does. In the movie, Percy uses the shoes. The reason Percy never uses the shoes is because he's the son of Poseidon, and the air is Zeus's realm. So, he's using these flying shoes. Zeus is upset that his brother broke their oath of never having kids with mortals, and he would could basically just kill Percy. So he never uses the shoes for that reason. The next thing is, so the movie is very strongly based on the map that is given to them by Luke to go find these pearls so that they can get safely out of the underworld. In the book, Percy and Annabeth and Grover never knew about these pearls until they were given to Percy as a gift from I believe it's a Nereid, because his father wanted him to have them, but he couldn't have direct contact. So that is when they find out about these pearls, and it's definitely not like the movie. The movie, kind of, the whole lead up to the climax is them searching for these pearls across the U.S., and that is very small in the book, the importance of these pearls. The next thing, Percy has dreams about Kronos a lot. Kronos communicates with Percy in his dreams because Percy is very important to the Titans at this time, because there's a prophecy about him saying that he could basically destroy all the gods. And so he is in contact with, Kronos is in contact with Percy a lot because he's trying to brainwash him into working with Kronos, which he never dreams about him in the movie, which is kind of disappointing. The next thing I noticed was Ares is not in the first movie at all. He is kind of a big character in the book. He, when Percy, Annabeth, and Grover are trying to get to Vegas, or they're trying to get to California, but they end up in Vegas, Ares says, "I'll help you if you help me." They go to this swimming park so that he can so that they can retrieve, I can't remember, some kind of weapon from the park, because Ares and Aphrodite were on a date there, and Hephaestus found out because Hephaestus is Aphrodite's husband, and he can't go back and retrieve it because there's a trap, and so he basically recruits Percy, Annabeth, and Grover to go get this thing, and he doesn't tell them it's a trap, and, you know, they beat the trap and get the thing, and then Ares gives them a ride to California, but they end up in Vegas. The underworld in the movie is, it's kind of just like cliffs over lava with moaning souls, and it was very disappointing because in the book there's Cerberus, the three-headed dog, who guards the underworld. You know, you go pay Charon, the ferryman, to get into the underworld, and he takes you to the entrance, and you go to, you pick a line, kind of like when you enter a new country, you have to have your visas checked. Well, you either go to the fast track line, or the line where you can find out whether you're going to the Fields of Punishment or Elysium, you know, the Isle of the Blessed. That's where you kind of find out. But if you never really did anything good or bad in your life, you kind of just go to it's described as a giant wheat field. So that's kind of where you hang out for the rest of your undead life. And yeah, that was kind of just not in the movie. It was, yeah. And then also Tartarus, where Kronos is, the shoes that Luke gave Percy were supposed to try and drag Percy into Tartarus. Well, Percy never wore them, Grover did, and so Grover almost gets dragged into Tartarus, but they save him, and they continue on, but then they are confused about why these shoes tried to drag them into the underworld, and yeah, they don't exactly know what's going on. Another big thing, this is something that the movie did that didn't follow the traditional mythology of the Greek mythology. Persephone, if you don't know, was kidnapped by Hades and forced to marry him, and then her mother Demeter, who is like the goddess of the harvest and crops, made an eternal winter because she was upset that her daughter was missing. So Hades and Demeter worked out a deal. Persephone would go live up above in the realm of people with her mother half the year and live with Hades the other half. So that's why there's seasons. And for some odd reason, Persephone is down there in the underworld with Hades in the middle of June, which is the summertime, and I was very upset because they don't follow the traditional mythology. That's like the whole, it's so upsetting. And so, because Persephone isn't there, it's just Hades, and Percy tries to explain to Hades that he never stole the bolt and that he would like his mother back, but it is discovered that he does have the lightning bolt because Ares gave him a backpack with it in it, and Hades gets upset, and Percy, Annabeth, and Grover crush their pearls, and they escape, but they never rescue Sally. Sally's still in the underworld with Hades. When they come out of the underworld, they end up in Monica Bay, where Ares is waiting for them, and it is discovered that Ares was in on it this whole time, and he has Hades' Helm of Darkness, which Hades is upset about, and so he's trying to create a three-way war between the big three, so that, because he's the god of war, he loves war, and Percy ends up challenging him, fighting him, and winning, and he returns the helm, which is when his mother is returned, because Hades doesn't like to be in debt. So that was not in the movie. And then, yeah, Ares is a very big character in the book. And then the other thing, the last thing, Luke, it was never known that Luke was the actual thief until the very end of the summer. So after, they saved the world, they go back to camp and finish camp, and then summer ends, and then it is discovered that Luke is the thief because he tries to kill Percy and explains everything that happened. He's been talking with Kronos, and he stole the lightning bolt and the helm, and then Ares caught him, and Kronos convinced Ares to help them, and so basically they're both brainwashed, and yeah, so I feel like the movie just took the names, and we're gonna kind of, yeah, so they took the story and they just put it in a blender and then added more stuff and ruined it. It was horrible. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. This was a cool little project. I will probably do it a lot more. I have several books that are movies, so I'm looking forward to doing more of these videos, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!